May I request our principal sir and director sir to escort the dignitaries to the dais?
Where is Abhishek? He's joining.
Innovation is applied creativity. By definition, innovation is always about introducing something new or improved or both. It is usually arrived to be positive thing. A very good morning to all gathered here. I, Soumya Shri, Assistant Professor from the Department of English, on behalf of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, Mangaluru, welcome you all to the 2 days 7th IEEE International Conference on Distributed Computing, VLSI, Electrical Circuits and Robotics, organized by IEEE Mangalore Subdivision and hosted by Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. We are thrilled to have you here representing the forefront of innovation and technological advancement. The IEEE conference is an intellectual journey that transcends boundaries, bringing together brilliant minds and thought leaders to share their knowledge and insights. Today, we have gathered to explore cutting-edge research, discussing emerging trends, and foster collaborations within the diverse world of researchers from academia and industry, practicing engineers, and students. Before we proceed, let's express our gratitude to the sponsors and organizers who have made this conference possible. Their dedication to advancing technology is invaluable, and we thank them for their support. The event is sponsored and supported by Canara Bank, Boeing, Kaveri Tata, Biomedical Engineering Society of India, India Internet Engineering Society, Center for System Design, NITK Surathkal, and Sahyadri Employees and Students Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Adyar. To lead us in a prayer and to offer blessings for the proceedings, may I invite Ms. Abhijna.
ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಣ್ಣನು ತೆರೆಯೇ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಮನದೊಳಗೆ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಬೀಜವ ಬಿತ್ತೆ ತಾಯಿ ಕಾದಿಹ ಮಣ್ಣೊಳಗೆ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಣ್ಣನು ತೆರೆಯೇ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಮನದೊಳಗೆ ಮುಸುಕಿದೆ ಕತ್ತಲು ಮುಸುಕನು ತೆರೆ ತೋರಿಸೆ ಒಳಗನ್ನು ಮುಸುಕಿದೆ ಕತ್ತಲು ಮುಸುಕನು ತೆರೆ ತೋರಿಸೆ ಒಳಗನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಿನ ಹೊಳಪನು ಮರೆಯುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಒಳಗಿನ ಬೆಳಗನ್ನು ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಣ್ಣನು ತೆರೆಯೇ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಮನದೊಳಗೆ ಹೊನ್ನಿನ ಬೀಜವ ಬಿತ್ತೆ ತಾಯಿ ಕಾದಿಹ ಮಣ್ಣೊಳಗೆ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಣ್ಣನು ತೆರೆಯೇ ತಾಯಿ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಮನದೊಳಗೆ
Thank you, Abhijna. And now, to give us the welcome address, may I call on our guiding force, Dr. Mustafa Bastikodi, the Organizing Chair 2023 IEEE Discover and the HOD of Computer Science and Engineering. Over to you, sir.
Excellent morning to all of you gathered here. Distinguished guests, respected colleagues, esteemed researchers, IEEE MSS office bearers and members, and all our cherished participants. A very warm welcome to the inaugural program of the IEEE International Conference, the 2023 IEEE Discover. Today, as we gather here, we find ourselves at the crossroads of innovation, technology, and collaboration. The 2023 IEEE Discover Conference is not just another event, it's convergence of brilliant minds, a celebration of knowledge, and an evidence to the continuing pursuit of excellence in the fields of distributed computing, VLSI, electrical circuits, robotics, and beyond. Before we go any further, I would like to extend a special welcome to our esteemed guest on the dais. Firstly, our chief guest, Dr. Gopal Mugaraya, sir, with a distinguished career and contributions as the Vice President Technical Education at NIT deemed to be university, as well as the former director of NIT Agartala and NIT Goa. Your presence here is an inspiration, sir. Sir's profile will be read later. At this moment, I would like to extend my heartfelt floral welcome to you, sir, on behalf of 2023 IEEE Discover. We have one more personality, our guest of honor, Dr. Abhishek Vaish, professor at Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad. Your presence adds significant value to our conference, sir. We would like to florally welcome Dr. Abhishek Vaish. We also have our own person, Dr. Manjappa Sarathi, the Director of R&D at Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, and also a patron of the 2023 IEEE Discover. So we are truly privileged to have your constant support. And we would like to florally welcome Dr. Manjappa Sarathi. We have with us the person behind all the present happenings of IEEE Mangalore subsection, Dr. Mohit P. Tahiliani, Chair IEEE MSS, also the General Chair of 2023 IEEE Discover, whose tireless efforts have brought this conference to the realization. We would like to florally welcome Dr. Mohit P. Tahiliani. We also have on the dais Dr. Rajesh S., the Principal of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, and another General Chair of 2023 IEEE Discover, whose vision and invaluable support has propelled us to this moment of occasion. I would like to florally welcome Dr. Rajesh S. The heart and soul of this conference are not limited to the dais. It lies in the collective brilliance of our attendees. We have diverse and dynamic mixture of researchers, participants, deans, HODs, IEEE MSS office bearers, and EC members, faculty, and all the colleagues, all of whom play a vital role in making this event as resounding success. And this year's IEEE Discover Conference is more than just an exchange of ideas. It is an opportunity to forge partnerships, to create innovations, and to advance the frontiers of our respective fields. As we come together to explore the latest advancements, share our research, and engage in thought-provoking discussions, we are setting the stage for groundbreaking discoveries. In the spirit of collaboration and innovation, I urge each of you to embrace this unique opportunity fully, be active participants, ask questions, share your insight, and build connections that extend beyond the conference. Together, we can transform the landscape of technology and research. Together, we can discover new horizons. Once again, I extend warm welcome to all of you, and I look forward to this exciting journey that the 2023 IEEE Discover Conference promises to be. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome to you too, sir. May I request Professor Pakala, sir, to florally welcome our organizing chair. I now invite our distinguished guest and all the dignitaries to come forward for the traditional lighting of the lamp.
Clockwise. One participant can come and join us. Along with the principal, she or he can join. Photo. Students will also join.
Thank you all. As the lamp shines brightly, may it inspire us all to seek the light of knowledge and the wisdom to make a positive difference in our lives and in the world around us. Thank you so much, everyone. You are not just an educator, but a mentor and a beacon of inspiration to all of us. Your leadership and dedication have been instrumental in creating an environment of learning and excellence at Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management. We are honored to have you with us today, sir, and we are eagerly waiting for your words of wisdom. Allow me to call our beloved principal, sir, Dr. Rajesh Iyer, General Chair, 2023 IEEE Discover, for the introductory remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Gopal Mugerai, Dr. Abhishek, Dr. Mohit, Dr. Mustafa Vasikodi, my dear deans, HODs, faculty members, IEEE delegates, press and media, and a very important researchers present over here in this 2023 IEEE Discovery International Conference. It's an honor to host the prestigious IEEE conference. Way back, about a year back in the same 2022 Discovery Conference, and offered to the Sahyadri. So Sahyadri, fortunate to have host this conference. I thank you very much for IEEE Mangaluru subsections and Bangalore for giving an opportunity to host the IEEE conference. Thank you. All of you or all of us, we can always run behind the technology. The technology revolution is much more faster than lighting. It's a current scenario. And we chasing to adapt and accept this technology, but we missing some networking and interactions. Why I'm telling all these things? Probably a decade back or 2 decades back, our dignitaries and the dais may express the same. The conference means it's a very huge event. The aspirant, PhD aspirant or researcher always used to come and attend to get the problem statement. The research scholar want to attend the conference to break through their research programs. And professors used to attend to get the new problem statement and challenge ahead. So most of the time, the paper presenters are small in number and participants are very high in number. That was the scenario. And even I still remember in 2004 or 5, okay, we visited Agra, one of the prestigious conference of AIC, All India Council of Universities conference, and we requested them just allow us to sit in the keynote speaker or the presenter venue. We don't want even any food, accommodation or something. We went there around 3 to 4 faculty members. We stayed our own in the hotel and just we go there and attending the program. That was the scenario. But unfortunately now the conference means it's a limited people and limited attractions, maybe because of the materials available in online, but definitely we missing the networking and interactions. My dear friends, the technology is always a positive as well as a negative. You know that. About a month back, we are proud about our scientists reaching moon, a Chandrayaan, of course, Suryayaan or Mangalayaan, etc., etc. Just after that, we seen the disaster the same technology is doing for the humankind. We never imagined the same technology will spoil the countries together, and they are not humanitarian, will be washed out. So that means even technology or artificial intelligence, we have to be create such a way that we have to ourselves train first as a human being as well as a great nation is. And our service, especially the researcher service, should reach us into the needy people. Our research should be focused on the sustainability, the energy, the food grains, the water resources, environment, etc., rather than the destruction of the same. So this conference will, I hope that it will be create a platform for the researchers to interact, they exchange the ideas, and come out with a new problem statements, and also a great, a pleasant stay of 2 years over here. Okay, wish you all the best. And also I'm thanking Gopal Mugairaya sir. It's personally it's honor to share the dais with me. He's accepted and present over here in his busy schedule. And thank you so much, sir, for your present. And also our director research, probably you are not aware, from last 12 hours, almost 18 hours he is traveling from Indonesia to attend this program. Even he stayed around 5 hours in Bangalore airport. So that's the commitment the researchers should have. Always he used to believe that, okay, research will not going to happen in the official hours. It should be a passion. It should be a separate, dedicated time. Okay, energy, interest. Then only the best of best output will come in from the research, and the people around our society will respect the researchers. So I wish you all the best to all the participants. I wish you enjoy these 2 days of this conference. And finally, I'm congratulating Mustafa and team for organizing this event. So thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much, sir. Today, we have the privilege of learning more about this groundbreaking program from Dr. Mohit Peti from NITK Surathkal, also the General Chair, an individual who is deeply involved in IEEE Discover and has been instrumental in this success. Over to you, sir.
So dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues from IEEE Mangalore subsection, head of the departments, deans of this institution, management, faculty members, industry representatives, and dear students. Good morning to all of you. It's a very happy moment for all of us as we stand today, as we were having breakfast in the canteen of Sahyadri. I said to some of my colleagues who were there, we said, can you imagine, this is the 7th edition of Discover, and all of us were a bit surprised because this team has worked like a family for more than 10 years. I'm happy to tell you that IEEE Mangalore subsection has completed 10 years of existence now, and we come under Bangalore section. I'm very happy to report that as on date, today morning, we have 2,384 members, IEEE members in Mangalore subsection, of which 1,900 plus are only student members. We have 21 student branches as on date, and we are trying to get a few more institutions on board. 2015 is when we started conceiving the idea of having an international conference. I was also talking to Gopal Mugraya sir, and sir was asking me, what is the purpose of this conference? The main reason we started thinking of a conference in 2015 is because we noted that at that point of time, there were only a couple of institutions in this region, particularly Mangalore subsection spans across 5 districts. We have Shimoga, Uttar Karnataka, Dakshin Karnataka, Udupi, and Chikmagalur. And we saw that in entire this region of 5 districts, we just had about 2 or maximum 3 institutions who knew how to organize an IEEE conference. The others were organizing conferences, but they did not have the brand name of IEEE or ACM or Springer or Elsevier, and that restricts the participation. Now, if you look at it, you all would agree with me that this is a research hub, education hub of Karnataka. So many universities are there in this particular region: medical, physiotherapy, engineering, dental. We have so many institutions in and around, and all the people from this region had to travel nearest at least to Bangalore to participate in modest IEEE conference. They had to travel, and traveling is not easy. I can always say that today all those people who have gathered here at Sahyadri and who are from all this local region, you just had to wake up from your home, get ready, and instead of going to your college, you came to Sahyadri today. It's of course more convenient to be attending an IEEE international conference where dignitaries like these are present with us on the dais. For example, Gopal sir has been the director of 2 NITs. Where would you find such a kind of an opportunity where you get such kind of people accessible in Mangalore region? Similarly, we will have Boeing representatives who are our sponsors tomorrow. So we will have chief architects from Boeing coming and talking to us. So what we wanted to do in 2015 was to create a flagship conference in this region which caters to the people in this region. They don't have to travel every now and then. At least there is one event which they can attend locally and get the best of the best people to this region, because this region is also well known for tourism. Dakshin Kannada, Udupi is very popular for tourism. A lot of people from Bangalore during weekends as getaways, they come to Mangalore. So why don't we have a conference? But let me tell you, organizing an IEEE conference is a Herculean task. We started preparing for this conference on October 12th last year, and October 13th we are executing it. Tomorrow, we in the valedictory section, we will be announcing the host of the next Discover. The team is already present in front of me. I don't want to spoil the secret. We will tell tomorrow during valedictory who is going to be the next host. The host for 2025 has also been decided. The host for 2026 is also decided. 3 years in advance, we are picking up the institutions who will be hosting Discover. The reason is they need to get involved today to understand how to organize a conference 2 years down the line. We don't want them to get shocked. Oh, IEEE organizing an IEEE conference is so tough. It is tough. It requires round the clock, 24/7, 1 year of preparation to see to it, to arrange this kind of a gathering, to arrange YouTube recordings, to arrange live streaming. And do you think the conference gets over tomorrow and the purpose and the whole thing is over? No. I'm not going to leave Dr. Mustafa and Professor Ritesh, because after the conference is over, we have to prepare the conference proceedings. We need to upload it to IEEE. We need to ensure that those papers get into the digital library. Otherwise, you as a PhD student, you will not get the credit for publishing that paper. So our work will still go on till November end. And we will be officially closing this Discover edition only when the papers will go to IEEE Explore. Until then, our BP will always be high and fluctuating. Papers are going into Discover or not? Are they going into digital library or not? But while this team will wrap up the conference physically here and get started with the proceedings preparation, the next engineering college that's going to host Discover next year will start submitting the application to IEEE to get that conference approved. And doing this consistently for 7 years, I think entire IEEE Mangalore subsection and Sahyadri team deserves a big round of applause for doing this entire work around the year. And I thank the organizing chairs, Dr. Mustafa and Professor Ritesh, who have tirelessly worked with us. And I thank all the sponsors which were named today, who have ensured that this conference becomes successful. I wish all of you the very best for the next 2 days. Make the most out of this opportunity. Let's grow together and let's make Discover even more popular from next year onwards. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir. And I take this opportunity to welcome our CEO of the college, Mr. Johnson Tellis. Welcome, sir. It's with great pleasure and reverence that I have privilege of introducing a remarkable individual whose name is synonymous with excellence in this field. He stands as a paragon of what it means to be a scientist, published more than 50 scientific papers in international journals, conference plus book chapters. Conferred as an academic advocate for Information System Audit and Control Association, USA, supervised 4 PhD candidates and 100 plus master students, and the list goes on. We have reached a pivotal moment in our program, and it is an honor to invite a distinguished individual, our guest of honor, Dr. Abhishek Vaish, IIT Allahabad, who embodies the essence of today's gathering, to speak a few words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Well, good morning to all of you. This is indeed a privilege for me to be here. In fact, every time I'm visiting, I feel like guest of honor all the time. So thank you, Sahyadri, for organizing this. I have been associated with this institution for almost a decade now, and every time I'm coming here, I can see the rate of momentum of the activities, the academic activities, and the research endeavor that this institution has been doing is phenomenal. So this is a big congratulations to the entire team of Sahyadri for doing all this. My biggest congratulations to Dr. Mohit for organizing the 7th edition of this. This is definitely a big task. He has already narrated the entire complexities involved. Well, I am at a point where I am interacting with the researchers, so I want to address something important. Me, being a researcher, started my career as a professional at Wipro, then entered to academic field, then also served on deputation of Government of India, being scientific attaché, looking forward the scientific relationship between India and Russia, seen a lot of things, and presently working in the domain of cybersecurity. I feel this conference is befitting as we can see the country, the momentum, and where are we standing. India, if you see, is standing in a position where you as a researcher had a lot to contribute. From Chandrayaan to Smart India to Digital India, we are standing at a point where researcher had to contribute and will get their due recognition. I remember my days of research when we were doing research, and our basic, as also cited by Mohit ji, that we used to do, our basic metrics for success used to be that we wanted our research to publish. Why? Because it used to give us the accreditation of, let's say, PhD work, or let's say as one factor of growth. But those are the gone days. We are standing at the point where the researchers are going to contribute in the nation building process. You have to understand that what you are contributing is going to be used by the country in the growth process. So those of you, I can see faces. First of all, I have seen a lot of faces to whom I know. I'm so happy to see them again. And to those who I have seen, is going to see today or the first time, for you, you have to understand that your research contribution is going to see the light of the day. It is not going to be just a piece of paper. We have to have the innovative thinking of how our research can be translated to be utilized. As far as the dimension of the research and the platform of IEEE, we are having robotics, we are having VLSI, we are having software engineering, and we are having other peripheries area. What I am doing as a researcher, and I will be available for you to research and collaborate, I am working in the area of metamorphic malwares. In cybersecurity, we are working in developing metamorphic malware engines, and these engines are very important to detect the fast detection of the pattern of the cyber attacks. Now, I'm going to touch 4 or 5 areas which is important for researchers to know. We are talking about a lot of IoT related issues and development, smart home to smart agriculture, so on, so many things. And in that perspective, we are working in developing consensus-based algorithm which can help to create light-weighted IoT, being the physical constraints in the IoT devices. We are also working in deepfake technologies. Some of the projects we are doing in that sphere also. We are working in web application security testing models. We are working in transformer-based learning system where we are using the power of transformer models to detect the pattern of attack in large-scale IoT networks, precisely the DOS attacks. I am from the field of cybersecurity, so many of the projects that we are doing is in the area of cybersecurity. As far as distributed computing is concerned, with the advancement in IoT devices, we need a smart grid systems, we need much more decentralized system, and therefore the field of distributed computing is evolving. We can see how the schedulers are being created. We have already seen the power of high-performance computing. Therefore, the need for distributed computing is annual, and we have a lot of, if you see, the positions available where you can contribute and you can be researcher. As a researcher, you should know, if you are a PhD scholar, you have to understand that this is your first step. And this first step will translate you towards the postdoctoral work. And this work, your commitment to your research work, will give you the chance to be successful in your postdoctoral work. So, coming to the software engineering, we can see smart railways, we can see smart transport system. We need much more agile software engineering frameworks. We need much more reliable software engineering frameworks. That is where you can contribute. I'm happy to understand that out of so many papers submitted, 50 researchers are going to present their school of thoughts, their idea, their experimental work. We often talk, when we come to the dais, we often talk so many things, and one thing which is very common among us is finding out the problem statement. Where will you get that? Will you get it in a fish market, or will you get it in the Apple store or any departmental store? No, you have to see around you. India as a country has stood up to the point where 50 years, 70 years down the line, where the Western worlds were finding the problem to solve their country's growth, we are standing to the point where everyone can contribute to find out a problem only if you are committed to your research. Find the problem near to you. Whatever field you are doing, the problem is next to you. So it's a very important and very crucial time that we are standing where we can contribute. Our infrastructure sector is booming. We are finding smart materials. We are finding materials that can contribute to much more resilient, sustainable growth. We are standing to the point where 3D printers are going to revolutionize the technology. We are standing in the point where 5 years down the line, we will have domesticated help using robots. I have already switched over my house. I have already switched over 60% of my lifestyle towards artificial intelligence. I am using, my entire cleaning system is being used by the mobs robe, we call it as D-bots. My entire home is a smart home. And who is contributing? It is we as a researcher, we are contributing. The data science domain, we are collecting so much of data. We can use such power of data to model and find out new problems. So I want to congratulate each one of you who are presenting your research work here. And I'm sure that the quality of the paper will be very high because IEEE and Sahyadri is involved and they have done a very rigorous blind review to accept the papers. But research is a very, very ongoing process. You need to take at least 15 to 20 years of your time to understand what is this research. I've spent my academic and research career is now almost 17, 18 years, and every day I'm learning. So once again, congratulations to all of you. Looking forward to have much more interactive sessions, and I will learn with your papers too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sir, for the thought-provoking address. And now, without further ado, I invite our chief guest to come forward and to do the honors of releasing the Book of Abstracts, symbolizing the culmination of countless hours of hard work and innovation. May I request all the dignitaries to join? Thank you all. I kindly request Dr. Priya Kamath, Associate Professor, to join us on stage to introduce the guests to the gathering.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm honored to introduce the chief guest for today's event, Dr. Gopal Mugireya. Dr. Gopal Mugireya has obtained his BTech and MTech degrees in chemical engineering from NITK Surathkal, followed by a PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and eventually convinced himself to pursue postdoctoral studies from University of California, Riverside, USA. A luminous career graph starting as a professor and dean continued for 25 years at NITK Surathkal, between which he guided 11 PhD theses, 187 MTech theses, and published over 112 papers in international and national journals and conferences in his area of expertise as a chemical engineer. He has had the honor of serving as visiting professor at Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok, Monash University, Australia, and CPSE, Manila. His managerial and scholastic competency got recognized by being appointed as an advisor to AICT and Chairman Technical Advisory Committee of Pollution Control Board of Karnataka. His natural dynamism pushed the career ladder further by being appointed as Director NIT Agartala for 4.5 years and Director Additional Charge of NIT Mizoram. This was followed by a 5.5-year stint from 2017 to 23 as Director of NIT Goa. His zeal stands testimony as the one responsible for building a new campus of National Institute of Technology, Goa, at Kankolim, South Goa. The President of India's official tour to China in May 2016 included Dr. Gopal Mugireya, accompanied as the prestigious technical expert. He was also a privileged attendee at BRICS Energy Conference 2018 at Moscow. He is also an elected council member of Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers. Presently, he serves as the Vice President, Technical Education at NITTE-DU, NITTE Education Trust. I heartily welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Your presence here today is an inspiration to all of us, and we eagerly anticipate the wisdom and knowledge you will impart. Your achievements have set remarkable milestones, and your words today will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on our hearts and minds. May I now request our chief guest, Dr. Gopal Mugiraya, Vice President of Technical Education, former Director of NITTE, NIT Agartala and Goa, to address the gathering.
You gave me only 5 minutes time. It's okay.
Yes.
3 minutes have been saved.
Namaskar. Very good morning to each one of you. Now, she knows that you should be very careful, the lawyer and the professor. Because for a lawyer to open the mouth, you have to pay. For a professor to close the mouth, you have to pay. She knows it. Yes. Respected my colleagues in the dais, Dr. Manjappa, Dr. Abhishek, Dr. Rajesh, Mustafa, and my good friend Mohit. And esteemed colleagues, my dear young friends. Am I audible? Yes. I'm very happy today because they have involved 60% of the students as the members. Because I have great respect as a teacher. Because I always say I'm a good teacher, not as a good director. Because there's a saying that Shinvanto Vishwa Amratasya Putra. That means every child is born with a spirit. There is the teacher, initially the parents, then the teacher, then the society makes them what they are. In fact, in Surathkal, Mohit knows that in every research program, we involve the undergraduate students because they are not the others are not brilliant. They are brilliant. They think out of box. I always say, if you want to come up in life, 2 things you have to follow. One is you have to come out of comfort zone. Second thing is you have to think out of box. Then only you'll flourish what you want. Let me come back to this. Friends, I'm the only odd person here who is not a computer engineer. I'm a chemical engineer. So I don't want to get into this domain of computer engineering because I don't want to cut myself into pieces. But however, I got a great respect to the computer engineers because you make the life simple for us. And that is done. But the next question is, what is the idea of this conference? I was talking to Abhishek. I attended so many conferences abroad also, more than about 100. I always say the conference should not be like meet, greet, chat, eat, and then depart. It should not be. It should have a conclusion. At the end of this conference, you will be meeting one important person in this conference where he'll get something, you will get something from him. That is exactly the idea of seminar. And then you have to build. And at the end of the seminar, the organizer should chalk down what exactly the next action plan. Otherwise, it becomes a ritual. Because every conference is an amalgamation of experts in the domain. And when they share, that happens. Because I always say research cannot happen overnight. You can't say that I'll do research between 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. No. We have to create a conducive atmosphere. There are 5 things required for a research. All are 5 A's. First A is appetite. You need to have appetite. Second A is your aptitude. The third A is your attitude. The next A is called approach. And the last one is application. So all these 5 will make you a good researcher. Because I'll tell you, when I was a student, long back, at the time, we had only 2 engineering colleges, I always say. One is Manipal and one Surathkal. Research was out of reach for us. But now you are all blessed. Because in the city of Mangalore, I am told there are 14 engineering colleges, 7 medical colleges, you have dental college, mental college, all colleges are there. So that means that there are more than 1 lakh students who are dynamic, who are vibrant. That makes the city of Mangalore is beautiful. 20 years back, don't quote me, 20 years back, the Mangalore city was known only for either Miss World or Underworld. But now it's not the case. It's known for one of the education hub. In fact, we are coming up with a very new campus soon, within 2 years, the NITTE campus. That's why I've been assigned. that that campus will be the best campus of South India in terms of facilities, in terms of the interactions. We want to develop a completely software-based campus, mainly to attract, like BITS Pilani, so that we'll attract good faculty, good students. Because I have seen the institution where there's no respect for faculty, that institution will never flourish. Because the reason is, an institution cannot be built by bricks or contractor. It has to be built by the faculty, good teaching learning process, good students, and good teacher-taught relation. That makes institution great. Today, IITs are great not because of great building. There is a peer interaction. I always say, you have a very nice canteen and allow the student to spend 1 hour there, because it's not the sheer interaction, it's the peer interaction matters in accumulating the knowledge. I'll give a small incident which is really good. In 2004, I'm a professor of Surathkal. I was a professor of Surathkal, now also. My specialization is refinery operations. We had 3 students from IIT Chennai who are chemical engineers. The third year students, they came over to refinery, our refinery MRPL, where I was a consultant. And this refinery is one of the best refineries in now South Asia. And they spent 2 months. At the end of 2 months, they brought the formula to get one side product from the refinery called IBB, isobutyl benzene, which is all imported by Korea, even today. But because of the invention of that, there's another product which is used in the manufacture of what's called as, in the pharma industry, many of the products from that IBB. Even today, MRPL, because I am a consultant now also, they have filed a patent because of the students' invention. And after 15 years, we never import that chemical. Pharma industry they get from MRPL. Because the paracetamol is one of the products obtained from that IBB. So my intention is that please involve in all inventions young students and encourage them, because now the research should be the integral part of teaching learning process. You can't say that I am good in teaching, I am good in research. In fact, NITT University, my colleagues said, we brought out a formula called as PBAS, Performance-Based Evaluation System. Every faculty member is branded, what is his grade, A grade, B grade, C grade, not to punish them. They should know what they are. So that contains research, teaching, industry interactions, outreach activities, student-centric activities. So I always say, teaching is not a job, friends. Many are teachers here. Teaching is a profession. A job with a passion is called as profession. So please try to enjoy this profession, give your best to a student, and students are the reflection of any teacher. And the best teachers are the teachers when the student respect them when they come out of the portals. So if the alumni respect the teacher, he's a good teacher. And if the student respect teacher, sometimes the students are very naughty. If they give more marks, like they'll be very happy, he's a good teacher. But the real teacher is the person who always encourages and defines the goal for the students. With these few words, I once again thank the authorities for giving me an opportunity to be here. I'm honored. Thank you. Vande Mataram.
Thank you so much, sir, for the pearls of wisdom. We are deeply privileged to have Dr. Manjappa Sarathi, Director R&D, Patron 2023 IEEE Discover, with us today for his concluding remarks.
Thank you, Madam. Good morning to all the guests on the dais, my fellow friends, HODs of all the departments, invitees, principals of various institutions, young budding engineering students, technocrats, scientists, and other invitees. In fact, today is one more important day in the history of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, wherein we are hosting an international conference for the first time, sponsored by IEEE. Of course, earlier, MBA program and nanotechnology conference were held but this is actually a program. That's what I was just looking to my director of MBA. She was telling, I have organized. Yes, I know that. This is only for the engineering education which I am talking about.
She's angry?
No, she is not angry with me. I know. She will be always. That's why I was just looking her. What was her reaction? IEEE has come forwarded, looking into the infrastructure and the capability of the faculty members in this institution, and I'm really grateful to the IEEE office bearers of Mangalore region and the supporters of this organization. I am really thankful to Dr. Rajesha, the principal, and the coordinator who took up the entire responsibility, Dr. Mustafa, and along with our Mohit, who have worked very hard with all the faculty members in all the disciplines. HODs of various departments have contributed a lot, not only for the purpose of organization, but also they have contributed their research papers. I was told that there were about more than 200 papers came for the 370 multiplied by 5 authors. Approximately 4 to 5 authors have contributed their papers to this conference. Ultimately, these people are so smart that this hall capacity, looking into this hall capacity, they could able to, get only 53 numbers, 53 into approximately 4 to 5, so that this hall can accommodate all the authors and the guests for the purpose. That may be one of the reasons. Advice must have been taken by me only. I don't know. I have forgotten all that. Anyway, a good gathering. For the information of the guests and the others, sir, this is an organization. The Bhandari Foundation has been given a full support to organize all this. We should thank Dr. Manjunath Bhandari and his team for wholehearted contribution. Our friends who were the chief guests, who were mentioning about many of the research activities, and Abhishek Vyas was also mentioning about. He was our almost a mentor in many of the activities in cybersecurity and CS department since 10 years. We know his capabilities, and the advice what he gives has been implemented thoroughly. A center of excellence in cybersecurity has also been started in this institute because of his inspiration and support. While preparing the project report itself, I know Dr. Harish may agree with me that he has given the inputs for the purpose of submission of our project proposal. Likewise, even the other guests who are here, Dr. Mugeraya, a most adorned person, not only in this area, in the entire country. He is a well-known administrator. Only because of his exposure and experience, he could able to develop many of the institutions. That too, institutions in initial stage to start is not a joke. Both the institution he has rise from the ground level, and they have become number one in the respective states. He was not only a technical advisor to AICTE. One thing which I would like to share, when he was a technical committee chairman in Pollution Control Board, I was a member along with him. Whenever he was absent for the programs, I used to chair his positions, and we were good friends over 25 years. For the information of all of them and to the audience, this institute has started way back in 2007. And now it is an autonomous institution. This institution was started with the sole intention that who could not get the admission in NITK, Surathkal. For them, such students have to be given a training here. The training which supposed to be given here should be better than the way of computation. What we thought, management, what they have taught is, Dr. Manjunath Bhandari is a well-read man. He has gone through the various institutions abroad, wherein he picked up all the inputs, and thereby whatever the AICTE and other activities, other administrative activities, including UGC, what they say about all the 360-degree evaluation process for the faculty, and many of the activities which have been given by AICTE have been inculcated in the beginning of the college itself, with the hands-on training programs, pedagogy of teaching, how it should be, all that what recently the administrative controls of the academic sections are giving has been inculcated in this institution. Thereby, the placement activities of this institution is regarded as number one in this area. Not only in this area, we can also even boast ourselves that we are best in the entire state in some of the placements. And of course, if you look at the infrastructure, it is. I was a special officer in University, Visvesvaraya Technological University. I visited more than 150 institutions. With respect to the tidiness, cleanliness, infrastructure facilities, laboratory facilities, all that, we can even class them. If this institution would have been there in Bangalore, its name would have been come at the top of the institutions of the top one institutions of the state. But of course, Mangalore also, we boost ourselves. Either we stand, barring NITK and MIT, we always say that we are number one or number two. So all this could happen because of the student community who have supported us in such a way that in all our activities, whether it is a research activity, academic activity, or otherwise, fully they have supported. And the faculty are very energetic, even though they are young, highly qualified, dignified, and they are capable of taking such responsibility to their shoulders. Therefore, we could able to achieve all this. As a director of research, I am very happy that Dr. Mustafa has taken this responsibility this year. It is definitely going to be a successful event, and this will be a responsibility of other departments. Now I am giving the responsibility to all the other department colleagues here from SCM to take this responsibility in the next line in your own area of specialization. With this, I really thank both Dr. Vyas as well as Dr. Mugaraya for accepting our invitation and to be here with us as an energy source, as a source of inspiration, rather to all our young budding engineers and also to our senior faculty and industry persons. With this small note, let me thank every one of you for the opportunity given to me. Thank you.
I want to share a good news that Dr. Mohit was promoted as assistant professor day before yesterday.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir, and thank you, sir. To express a profound appreciation and gratitude, we would like to present a memento to Dr. Gopal Mugeraya, Chief Guest. May I request Dr. Manjappa Sarthi to kindly come forward and do the honors as a symbol of our respect and admiration. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to request our principal, sir, to hand over a memento to our guest of honor. Thank you, sir. As a token of love and gratitude, may I request Dr. Mustafa Bastikori, HOD of CSE and Organizing Chair, to present a memento to our Chair, IEEE MSS Division. Thank you, sir. As we near the end of this opening session, may I request Professor Ritesh Pakala, Chair 2023 IEEE Discover, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all. I, Ritesh Pakala, Organizing Chair 2023 IEEE Discover, take this opportunity to present the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to extend my gratitude to Dr. Gopal Mugeraya, Vice President, NIT, Technical Education, NIT deemed University, and former Director of NIT Agartala and NIT Goa for gracing us with your presence today. We felt very honored to have the opportunity to hear from you, and your insightful and meaningful remarks have made an eternal impression on our minds. Thank you, sir. Also, I would like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. Abhishek Vaish from IIIT Allahabad, who have shared his knowledge and expertise with us today. Your valuable contribution have enriched our insights. Thank you, sir. I especially thank the mastermind of this event, Dr. Mohit P. Tailiani from NITK Surathkal and General Chair of 2023 IEEE Discover for invaluable advice and assistance during the entire process of 2023 IEEE Discover. Thank you, sir. I also take this opportunity to thank all the trustees of Bhandari Foundation, the CEO of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, and Chairman of Sahyadri College of Engineering Management for providing this platform to host this event. Thank you for the management team. I also thank Dr. Manjappa Sarathi, the Director of Research, Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, Dr. Rajesh IS, the Principal of Sahyadri College of Engineering and Management, and also the General Chair of 2023 IEEE Discover, and the backbone of this event, Dr. Mustafa Bastikodi, HOD of CSC and Organizing Chair of 2023 IEEE Discover, for their active involvement to make this event a memorable one. Also, our heartfelt thanks goes to all the past IEEE MSS chairs, office bearers of IEEE MSS, Execom members of IEEE MSS, and also the branch councillors of IEEE MSS, and organizing committee members and volunteers who have worked behind the success to ensure that every detail of this event was meticulously planned and executed. Thank you all. Also, we must extend our appreciation to sponsors and supporters, namely Canara Bank, Boeing, Kaveri Tata Motors, Biomedical Engineering Society of India, India Internet Engineering Society, Center for System Design NITK Surathkal, Sahyadri Employees and Students Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Adyar, who have generously invested in making this event a reality. Thank you all the sponsors. Also, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the distinguished professors, various deans, and esteemed audience for valuable presence, which makes this event enriching experience. And also, I thank all the participants from various institutions for this event, who gave this with a very special moment and with enriching knowledge. Thank you all once again.
Thank you to you too, sir, and thank you for being the part of this incredible event. Let's collectively work towards pushing the boundaries of technology and engineering. On behalf of IEEE, our sponsors, and the organizing committee, I wish you a productive and enjoyable conference. Stay engaged, stay inspired, and let's make this memorable event. Thank you, one and all.
Let us thank the MC also. Nobody thank the MC.
Thank you all. I request all the participants to stay back because we have a keynote speech which will be followed by a break. So please stay back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So this will be delivered. Just do
years of our partnership.
MG! So CNG!
Yeah.
When life moves fast, we need somewhere we can move. A space with ergonomic nutrition and integrated advanced features actively. That means that any sophisticated digital equipment, wireless phone charging, because the new Nokia is all about developing this traffic.
Presenting the OMG range of iCNGs. Big mood, big appeal, big reaction. OMG in CNG.
Use paddle shifted discs that doubles the energy regeneration. Easily access navigation information in the digital cockpit. And select sport mode for the next level experience.
Innovators brimming with ideas.
This is an This is an SUV that puts power in hands. The Nexon .EV takes automotive technology to new heights. Just plug in to charge another car with a vehicle to vehicle charging. Power your gadget from vehicle to vehicle. It's time for your ideas to take
Open sunroof.
choices match your powerful 30 minutes share. When life gets in the way, you can count on the next one to provide. There's an electronic power cable. It takes 60-degree angle. There are times when you need to take action. SOS Call puts you through to our emergency system.
Don't worry. Help is on its way.
When it comes to you and your family's well-being, the next
Then I think this car is a perfect match. Car.
Can you hear me?
We will test it, sir. Now you can hear me talking to you, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. I'll switch on my mic. Give me one.
Yeah.
I'll switch on the phone.
Okay.
All right. So, can you hear me now?
Check. Check.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can.
Okay, beautiful. How about now?
No, I'll.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, can I start?
Sir, let me introduce you, and then we will.
Okay. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, guests, IEEE fellows, and the researchers and young students, the aspirants. I, Dr. Joylin Desa, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, feels honored and privileged to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Varadraj Gurupur, for this conference. Dr. Varadraj is currently working as an associate professor with the School of Health Management and Informatics and has a joint appointment with the Department of Computer Science and Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering with University of Central Florida. He is also the founding member of the Decision Support Systems and Informatics Lab at UCF. Dr. Gurpur received his doctoral degree in computer engineering from the University of Alabama at Birmingham in 2010. He is currently serving as the chair of IEEE Orlando section since 2021. Under his leadership, the IEEE Orlando section has received the gold recognition from IEEE MGA. Dr. Gurpur is a recipient of 2 international awards, 2 national and several regional and institutional awards. This includes a prestigious AHIMA Research Award in the year 2017 and the AHIMA Triumph Award for the Innovation in 2021. Additionally, he is also the recipient of the prestigious Josephine Bedenbach Outstanding Engineering Educator Award from IEEE Region 3. His core research is focused on software engineering decision support system for healthcare and education. Dr. Gurupur is also someone who has worked in the healthcare industry for several years. Based on this work experience and academic training, he is also involved in discovering innovative solutions to difficult problems associated with electronic health records. Dr. Gurupur has more than 100 publications, which include edited book chapters, journal articles, conference papers, abstract, and published reviews. Additionally, he has been involved in many research projects funded by the United States federal government, government agencies such as National Science Foundation and National Institute of Health. We are fortunate to have someone of their stature with us to share their expertise and perspectives on the topic of importance of transdisciplinary research. Without further ado, please join me extending a warm welcome to Dr. Varadraj Gurpur with a applause. He's with us online.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. Over to you, Dr. Varadraj.
Thank you very much. So let me, I hope we did a audio check. So I hope my audio is working. And, I'm going to share my screen right now. Here we go. Okay. So I guess I'm able to share my screen and everybody is looking at my screen right now. It's 1:54 a.m. in the morning here in Florida, so please forgive me if I'm not in the best form like you guys. So my presentation is going to be on importance of transdisciplinary research. Ma'am has already introduced me extremely well, so I'm not going to get into too many details about myself, but about my university. University of Central Florida is the second largest university in terms of student numbers, receives more than $200 million every year, ranked in top 25 for patents and commercialization, has more than 12,000 employees and has a budget of $2 billion per year. And ma'am has already introduced me, so I don't have to talk much about myself. So I got a PhD in computer engineering from the University of Alabama at Birmingham in 2010, did my master's in computer science, same university, and did my bachelor's in computer engineering, computer science and engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology. Again, I'm not going to get too much into the details. I got like 134 publications and several awards, several recognitions. I think ma'am has already explained, so I'm not going to waste your time on this. I'm very proud to tell you that I'm a Mangalorean, born and raised in Mangalore, and I'm currently serving as the chair of the IEEE Orlando section. And you can see the map of Florida on the right side of your screen, and you see the part of Florida highlighted in orange. This is the Orlando section. So this is my third and final year as the chair of the IEEE Orlando section, and I'll be happily handing over the leadership to the next group of leaders. With that said, let's get on to the topic of my presentation today. So I picked this topic because a lot of people are not very clear about, first of all, why research should be done and the need for transdisciplinary research. Many times researchers tend to focus on one area and they get very specialized in that area. But there's a need for transdisciplinary research, and a lot of people don't realize what transdisciplinary research is and why or how it has to be done or it can be done, and things like that. So briefly, I'm not going to read the statements here, but briefly, transdisciplinary research is something that you do in one field that affects the other field in a positive way. So you're integrating, synthesizing theory, methodology, and bunch of things, and you are creating transformation on some other field. And I'm going to give a lot of examples in my presentation about transdisciplinary research. So in a crux, that's what transdisciplinary research is all about. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. And I like narrating stories in my presentation. There was a story of a butterfly in Brazil creating a tornado in Texas. It's called The Theory of Chaos. There's a little bird humming somewhere, flying somewhere, that's creating a storm in some other part of the world and doesn't even know that that's happening. So that's the theory of chaos. You do something very little that has very strong effects that you cannot see. Maybe those effects will be seen somewhere down the line, somewhere in future. And it's important to know that every research that you do, every innovation that you come up with can have very strong positive effects. Okay, so that's, I rely heavily on theory of chaos. Let me start off with one example. This guy, how many of you know this guy? I'm sure many of you don't. You probably heard his name, but many of you don't know who this guy is. Tim Berners-Lee is the father of the World Wide Web. What he did was, he learned how to connect two computers. Late 1980s, he was sitting in a lab, trying to connect two computers, and he succeeded. And he envisioned that if I can connect these two computers, there are a lot of computers that can be connected, and this is going to create a World Wide Web. And he termed that name, World Wide Web. So this was the first World Wide Web server. You can see a little note here on the computer. Do not move. This is whatever. So that's the beginning of the World Wide Web. Very humble beginning, probably in a room smaller than where I am right now. He learned how to connect computers and make them talk to each other. And he envisioned that he can have a larger collection of computers and called it a web. What did that lead to? Improvised telemedicine. Now, keep in mind, telemedicine did exist in the 1980s before the advent of World Wide Web and before the internet. I mean, in 1980s in America, they used to call people on the phone and ask them questions and write down answers on a piece of paper, and then those answers were given to somebody else, and So telemedicine did exist in its embryonic form, if I could put it that way, in the late 1980s. But with the advent of World Wide Web, the advent of capital I Internet, you know, telemedicine transformed, and we could see that the effect of transformation when we were hit with COVID pandemic. Until then, yeah, telemedicine is good. You know, if I can't drive, I'll use telemedicine. But when we were hit with COVID, we realized what a great benediction telemedicine is. So how was telemedicine, this type of telemedicine that we have in place today, possible? Because Tim Berners-Lee learned how to connect two computers, and he came up with this vision of World Wide Web. This is called transformative transdisciplinary work. He's learning how to connect two computers, but what is done in the process is transform how medicine or medical practice is delivered. Okay, he probably never had a clue at that time that this is going to happen, but it happened. Another great example, telesurgery, right? We have people sitting in some part of the world using the connectivity that they have to perform robotic surgery on someone at a distance. The reason why surgery can become popular or is becoming popular is because you don't have enough specialists. It's difficult for the specialists to, move from one place to the other. On the contrary, the specialist can be in a remote location and can perform surgery. You know, this is a transformative process that has changed a lot of lives. What did we get out of all of that? Is big data, because now you have data moving from one place to the other, and all over the World Wide Web. So you have data. What do you do with the data? What you do with the data is you transform data into information, and then you transform information into knowledge, transform knowledge into wisdom, right? So data can be used in marketing. You know better than I do. I try to buy something online and it tells me, by the way, maybe you want to buy this other thing as well. So this way the company can make more money or grab more money out of me, and all that. So you know this a lot better than I do. But how did this all start? By connecting two computers, right? So this is the power. So now he said, okay, fine. Now that I've created the World Wide Web, now that the data is flowing, what do I do next? I'm going to connect the data, pieces of data, meaningfully. So he called it the semantic web. The semantic web is a web of data, or how this data is connected to the other. For example, now there's a meeting called Cool Meeting. Like, we are having this cool meeting, IEEE Discover, right now in Bangalore, right? The location is Bangalore. So the Cool Meeting is happening in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And Cambridge, Massachusetts is a place on Earth, which means it's got a latitude and a longitude. And it's also got a postal code. And the Cool Meeting has a website, just like your IEEE Discover has a website. Cool Meeting has a website. And Cool Meeting is chaired by Jane Doe, just like the IEEE Discover has a chair. So the chair has an email. So you see how one piece of data is connected to the other. He called it the semantic web, where you build a causal relationship or you build the connection between pieces of data. And we do that in my research using concept maps. It's a great tool. What this led to was advent of XML, JSON, and these types of languages where you had semi-structured data, you had self-describing data, and now people are moving from relational databases to other non-relational databases, self-describing databases. So how did this all happen? Because now you have this concept of semantic web, that means you got to have ontologies. How do you have ontologies? Using XML and JSON. So which led to web ontology language, resource description framework, SparkQL, all that great stuff. So one thing leading to the other. What do we do out of XML and JSON? In the United States, almost every healthcare data is converted to XML and JSON so that the AI algorithms and other programs can consume that type of that piece of data, or I can call it information now, bigger than data, and then provide results or do the analysis, provide advice, provide decision support, and perform all those great stuff. So what did that lead to? The semantic web, again, he probably never thought that this has some kind of implication on healthcare. You had lab results, you had primary care physicians' notes, you had hospital administration evaluations, you had imaging data, the DICOMs, and you had information on long-term care. You had public health, like for example, there's a pandemic or an epidemic, and there is information on drug use or the effectiveness of drugs and all that. So everything gets connected to one another, and we've seen this during the pandemic. So how did that happen? Because we are talking about data semantics. We are talking about one piece of data getting connected to the other. So what we do in our decision support systems and informatics lab at UCF is we have domain experts build knowledge repositories using some kind of easy to use tool, and that is later converted into XML and JSON, and we have data combined with those knowledge structures fed to programs. What that does is provide decision support. Okay, I always say that when you want to see a doctor, you always want to see an experienced doctor. Why? Because the experienced doctor has a lot of experience behind his back and can deliver better advice. But an inexperienced doctor does not have enough experience. What this type of tool would do is substitute experience with decision support. And that's what we are planning to do. And again, transdisciplinary, right? Combining computer science to healthcare, improving healthcare outcome. Another great example for transdisciplinary work is tracking your data. I get on my car and I try to connect my phone to the charger on my car, and my phone tells me it takes about 18 minutes for you to reach University of Central Florida. Now, how did the phone figure out that that's where I'm going? Because the phone has tracked your movement, and it knows that on this particular day, at this particular time, you're going to drive from point A to point B, very likely. Okay? Why? Because it's got all its knowledge structures, it's got information coming from the GPS, it's got 100 different things, it's got algorithms running, and then it gives you the advice that it takes 18 minutes for you to reach your destination. Just a little side note, a lot of people think that, I can go to this website on my phone and nobody knows, and all that stuff. Nobody knows what kind of food I'm ordering. People who suffer from diabetes and heart problems, they like to buy some tasty food from Uber Eats, thinking their family member would not know about that. But your little guy, your smartphone knows it all, because it's tracking your data. And this is another example where usability and computer science and all these things come together. So these days, interestingly, the AI companies hire a lot of psychologists. Some of them even hire more psychologists than computer science experts, because AI is becoming all about psychology. Why? Because psychologists help causal networks, and they can, help the algorithm provide the right kind of decision. So, psychologists are becoming the next generation of computer scientists, if I have to put it that way. Let me give you a great example, and this is one slide I like to use in the beginning of the presentation, but over here I'm kind of using it little towards the end. Now, this is a very interesting story. I'm going to spend some time on this slide. There's this chain of, or a supermarket chain in America. If you've been here, or if you lived here in the US, you know about Target. Target is a supermarket chain. Now, I have a habit of shopping from Target. I got nothing to hide. But let me tell you a story. There was this family that used to shop with Target all the time. They purchase their groceries, their regular needs, everything from Target. It turned out that there was this family. The family consisted of maybe elderly father, a 16-year-old daughter, and a wife. So these were the three people in the family. And the father gets a note from Target one day. Congratulations on your upcoming baby in your family. And he's like, what kind of joke is this? Takes the letter, goes to the Target store, talks to the manager. This is some kind of an April Fool joke that I didn't like. And I'm not happy with this joke, and there's no baby coming in my family. I'm already around 60, and I got a daughter who's 16, and blah, blah, blah. And the manager apologizes and says, this was, an automated letter. He wrote it. It was not manual, all that stuff. So, and the guy goes back home. 3 months later, the same guy goes to the same store and meets the same manager, and and he kind of apologizes for being rude with him, and it turns out that his 16-year-old daughter was pregnant, and guess who figured that out? It was the Target billing system. All the things in the world, the entity that figured that out was the Target billing system. So this is the power of intelligent systems. This is the power of decision support, and this is how transform something that you do in computer science, something that you do in computer engineering, can affect someone's life or life decisions and things like that. So you never know. Again, going back to the theory of chaos, the little butterfly creating a tornado somewhere in the middle of Earth, right? Another example I can give you is, and this is for university administrators on why you should do research. There was this guy, Robert Cade. He was a chemist. He tried some chemicals. He thought he had come up with some drink that can provide a lot of energy to sports, to athletes and young folks involved in sports. And he experimented that drink with a few folks, and like this picture right here, and it turned out to be a good drink. Was providing some energy to the athletes with the University of Florida. And interestingly, here in the US, people associated with a particular university are given the name of the mascot. For example, the University of Florida people are known as Gators. Just to let you know, there are more alligators in the state of Florida than human beings. So somehow, the folks associated with University of Florida are called Gators. The folks associated with University of Central Florida are known as mice. Okay? And so you can ask yourself this question: what do gators drink? This is a drink that you know about. This is a drink that you see cricketers drink all the time, and that's Gatorade. chemist guy came up with a energy drink for sports people. Every time a Gatorade is sold, University of Florida makes money. Another famous company I can tell you, I don't have it on the slide. We are all using it. I'm using it right now. Google. Google was born out of Stanford University. So when Google makes money, Stanford University makes money. So innovation, transdisciplinary thinking is very, very important for universities, because if the hit a lottery like Gatorade, the thing hits the market and starts generating money through commercialization, the educational institution also makes money. That's how it works in the US, at least. There are some universities, they can pay off the salaries of their employees just by selling football tickets, like University of Alabama. All right, so I'm moving on to birth of software engineering, which is another example. There were, a bunch of people involved in software development could not figure out why the software projects were ending up in a nightmare, or ending up in a failure. So they came up with this idea of software engineering, came up with processes and all that. 1960s, right? 1968 or 1969, some year like that. Don't remember the exact year. I had the pleasure of working with some of the founding fathers of software engineering, like Dr. Ramamurthy and Dr. Gay, with STPS. But what did software engineering lead to? Software companies like Microsoft, Apple, Oracle, etc., you know better than I do. They probably never thought that what we were doing was going to lead to these companies that generated more than $1 trillion economy. Also, don't forget, there are huge electronic health record companies like Cerner, Epic, eClinicalWorks that generate billions and billions of dollars in revenue. Okay. All right. My little contribution was, I came up with this algorithm for analyzing incompleteness of electronic health records. Was used many places, and turns out that analyzing incompleteness can save people's lives. And this is a work in progress. So we have 2 US patents, I think 1 US patent in this in this particular area of research, and 2 pending, 1 undergoing office action. So so I'm a transdisciplinary researcher, again, someone from a computer science, computer engineering background, working in healthcare. So, hoping to make some changes in the world. With that, I would end my presentation. I was looking at the clock here on my phone. Yes, I took 30 minutes. Stop sharing right now and open the floor for Dr. Mustafa said I can entertain up to 2 questions. So, Dr. Mustafa and ma'am, you guys take the floor.
So over to you. Any students, any researchers, dignitaries would like to interact with Dr. Gurpur? Yes. Anyone?
Thank you, Professor Prabhu. I'm Niranjan from Manipal. We just had a meeting just 2 days ago.
Nice to meet you, sir, virtually again.
Yeah. So I just had one question. What kind of decision support systems which you use in e-commerce or somewhere else, which you use in your transdisciplinary research on electronic healthcare records?
So right now we are working on decision support system to predict incompleteness of electronic health records. For example, if the doctor and patient are not communicating properly, and we can see that through the data exchange using natural language text, and we can predict that there could be a possibility of incompleteness, and there's natural language processing working on healthcare records. So that's one type of decision support that we are working on. The other thing, we have patent for this, is we have a decision support system in place to predict what kind of activities a patient suffering from heart diseases need to have to improve or maintain good health. There are good practices and there are bad practices for patients suffering from heart problems. For example, you don't want to eat pizzas on a regular basis. That's a bad idea because it's got a lot of cheese on it. There are other things like, for example, some people take medicine on time, they exercise a lot and all that, but they have stress-related issues that cause heart problems. So this is a decision support system for caregivers and patients to analyze, what can worsen the situation and what can improve their situation. So these are some of the decision support tools that we have been working on, and this is an ongoing research.
Good morning. So I have one question regarding the semantic web which you have asked. So with the large language models coming into picture and being integrated into the search engine, what will be the relevance of semantic web going forward? Or they both are different, LLMs and semantic web? Because semantic web is more into the meaningful web where it understands what the user queries and gives the result for that, as far as I have understood. So with the LLMs coming into picture, is there a convergence, or semantic web will be abstracted as a part of LLMs?
So definitely I would like to use the word convergence because one thing is helping the other. So with large models, you need large data sets. Now what large data sets, when you analyze large data sets, what do you get? Is causality. So if you look at backward chaining, for example, you hypothesize something, and then how do you prove what you have hypothesized? By performing analysis and getting the validation that you're looking for. So definitely it's integrated. It could be integrated. It could be there's a lot of convergence there. So the semantic web is an old thing that was introduced probably in the early 2000s, and at that time some of these models didn't exist. But that's the beginning, and you have to start somewhere. So for me, I see a lot of convergence than anything else.
Anyone? Thank you, Dr. Varadraj Prabhu, for this lovely and beautiful, enlightening keynote. And we are honored again. So, and of course, though we had a delay of 10 minutes, you were very good enough on being on time. So we're grateful to you, sir. So on behalf of IEEE Discover 2023 and all the participants, I extend a warm thanks and heartfelt greetings as well for your wonderful thoughts that you shared with us. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You all have a great conference. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So right now you will be dispersed for a tea break of 15 minutes. Then further, according to the schedule that has been already shared to you, you may go for the presentations to the respective floors.
We have seen the nation transform and soar into the skies. It's a matter of great pride for us to have played an important role in the mission readiness and modernization of the country's defense forces, a relationship that goes back to the Second World War. A mainstay in the commercial aviation sector, we are connecting India to the world with the most fuel-efficient airplanes. And it is here in India that we see the future of aerospace unfold. Innovators brimming with ideas, engineers converting imagination to reality. Leveraging this potential is an incredible opportunity, not just for India, but for the world. Building a local aerospace and defense ecosystem for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Investing in local partnerships and nurturing homegrown talent. Committed to transforming the communities we work among and creating lasting change. We are bringing the best of Boeing to India and the best of India to Boeing.
An icon is reimagined. You become fearless by having all the power you never knew existed. You become fearless by taking head-on a road less traveled. You are yourself when you create. Life is not just in black or white. Simplicity comes from being pure. It's clever. It's smart. Always ahead of the curve. Life is meant to be lived fearless. It gives you options when you create. It brings you closer to your roots when being pure, and shapes you into your best when being smart. And it all falls into place when you are in the new Nexon.